Good morning and hello friends. Welcome back to another monthly witchcraft video and welcome to July. If you see me looking over here, it's because I have my notes over here. Honestly, I wrote out a script for some of this stuff because I don't want this video to get too long and my brain is kind of everywhere right now. So yeah, I really can't believe that we've already hit the halfway point of the year. It's already July. I've officially lived in Maine for more than 6 months at this point. I'm going back to school in August. We are homeschooling again because public school was just a nightmare that we didn't want to deal with anymore. Things are just moving right along. I know I didn't have a monthly video up last month. So I'm sorry for that. I know that's part of your membership here. Also, really quick, I want to apologize in advance if you can hear any of the road noise. My windows are open because it's really nice outside and my street gets kind of busy in the morning. So there's a lot of road noise. Hopefully it quiets down soon, but it is barely 7 o'clock in the morning. So sorry for the road noise. Sorry that I didn't have a video for you last month, specifically the monthly witchcraft videos. We have found ourselves spending way more time outside in the last couple of months. The weather has just been so much nicer, and I mean, except for the rain. It rains a lot in the spring in Maine. I have discovered a newfound love of disc golf. My fiance and I have been playing way more disc golf with a friend of ours, and I mean, last week we went and played disc golf 5 times. 5 times during the week. And it's a good exercise. It's fun. It's challenging. Oh my God, is it challenging. But it's so cool to see my growth since the first time I played versus now. Like, I can drive it farther. I can actually make it in the basket. Anyways, I think we're going to go play. We're probably going to go play again in a couple of days. So I am also filming a vlog. Maybe I will get some of that on camera. I'm not sure because it's kind of weird for me to film out in public like that around other people. But anyway, we're just really enjoying the warmer weather and being outside. So I hope everyone had a wonderful summer solstice. And let's just get into noteworthy news and articles from the past month because there are several. So first off, June was Pride Month, and as such, Laura Tempest Zakroff created a Shine On Pride sigil as part of their latest sigil workshop. These workshops are something that Zakroff does once a month, I think it is, and each sigil is communally created, meaning that everyone in the workshop comes together to create the sigil together. Zakroff says, this sigil focuses on celebrating pride combined with safety, recognition, and amplifying the history, concepts, goals, and needs behind pride, to shine illumination on all of these ideas, as well as to celebrate the community. And I think it's wonderful that Zakroff creates these sigils actively with the people that are in the workshop. Everyone creates it together and everyone has a hand in it. I think that adds so much more energy to the sigil. So if you want to use the sigil or see it, you can go to the link in the description or it's up here on the screen. Next up is something I am excited but scared about. A Practical Magic sequel was announced. There is no release date, there is no trailer, there is no other information besides the fact that they are wanting to do a sequel. And so I believe, reading everything that I am reading about this, that Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman both are coming back into their original roles. So that's exciting. I love the original movie. I mean, Midnight Margaritas, those ants are goals, okay? I just hope that they're able to do the sequel justice. I have high hopes because Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are in the movie again. I hope that if they are using the same type of spell, they say Hecate correctly. But the movie in itself is great. So I'm hopeful, but also skeptical. Then there's also some TikTok drama, but I think it needs to be talked about a little bit. So a woman who goes by Bree Witch on TikTok is coming under fire because she took or was given a stone, a branch, and something else from the Clavacairns when she went to Scotland to visit, I think it's where The Outlander was filmed. It is being called Pebblegate on TikTok. So the reason that this has become such a huge issue is because Clavacairns is a protected site. I think it is one of the English heritage sites. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's protected by the same group that also protects Stonehenge, and the Hill of Tara, I think. I don't know. It's too early in the morning for me to get all of that out of my head. But anyway, the point here is that she was in possession of these natural items from a sacred site in Scotland. And the issue is that it is illegal to remove things from the Clavacairns for your own use. Like, just take them and walk away. And so she came onto TikTok and was talking about how she had the stone and she's got the twig and whatever else she's got. And at first, she said that she took them. Then she said that the tour guide gave them to her. So the story is kind of muddy, no matter how you look at it. And people are in an uproar because here comes this American tourist from Florida going to a sacred site in Scotland and taking something that doesn't belong to her because she feels entitled to it, because it's a sacred site and her spirits told her she could. Never mind the fact that it's illegal. And then she just takes it back to Florida. And we're not even sure if she told customs that she brought natural artifacts through the plane, like, to another country, because that is also illegal. From what I've gathered in this whole thing, she has claimed innocence the whole time, that it's not a big deal. It's just a rock. It's just a twig. They were given to her, and her spirits told her it's okay. It's not okay. The sacred sites deserve respect. They need to be respected if they want to, if people want these sites to stay sacred and stay in good condition. And I don't know, the entitlement that some people have when they go to these places, it just baffles me. So don't take things from sacred sites, no matter if you think your spirits, no matter if your spirits told you it's okay or not. There's a level of common sense. I don't know. There's a level of critical thinking that needs to happen there. If your spirits tell you it's okay, but it's illegal and you know you probably shouldn't do it because you want to protect the sacred site, just don't do it. Like, I don't understand how hard it is. Supposedly, Bree Witch is in communication with someone who lives close to Clavacairns, and she's going to send the rock back so that it can be placed back at Clavacairns, which I think is the right thing to do. But this all could have been avoided if Bree Witch did not feel entitled to take the natural pieces of the sacred site home with her. Anyway. The Wild Hunt has shared an article that details resources for pagans in recovery. I don't have a lot of information on this because for some reason I didn't write it all in my notes, but if this is you, or you know someone who can use these resources, or if you just want to share them because the Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and the resources for people in recovery are typically Christian based, or they seem very monotheistic. So these resources are geared more towards pagans and the more spiritual people. So the link for that is going to be in the description. Next up is something that is not very fun. It's actually it's pretty terrible. A Connecticut man was arrested for trying to drown 2 young children. Supposedly, the man was in a, quote, tumultuous relationship with the children's mother and admitted to taking the kids from their home in New York. So this man admitted to kidnapping. The man told officers that he recently found, quote, witchcraft material that belonged to the mother of the children, saying that she was, quote, wishing ill on another male. So this man said he panicked after seeing the cops on the beach, and he took the kids out into the water where he was trying to drown them. The man seems to be blaming the mother in this instance, and the article insinuates that the man thought if the mother didn't have the quoted witchcraft material, then the man would not have taken the children. If he would not have taken the children, obviously they would not have been in that situation, and he would not have tried to drown them. Why is it that people are still afraid of witchcraft and witches? Why are we still living like this? I could probably do an entire podcast episode on witches in the media and how it probably incites fear and panic, and how Christian thinking and monotheistic thinking really permeate the world we live in and cause fear and panic on its own. The article said that there hasn't really been any information released on the children and the status of their recovery. They are recovering. So that's really good news. The man was not successful, and he has been arrested, and I think he's being held on like a $2 million bail or something like that. But it's a whole new level of low. Next up is something super interesting. The waters of Solus Minerva in Bath, United Kingdom, may yield new antibiotics. So Solus Minerva is a Roman bathhouse. It's a well-preserved Roman bathhouse. According to an article posted on the Wild Hunt, the water of Solus Minerva in Bath, UK, appears to have antibiotics, according to a new study published in the journal Microbe. Well, totally messed that up. Bath, UK is both an ancient site of healing and a modern tourist attraction. The research, published last week, was conducted by students and academics from the University of Plymouth's School of Biomedical Sciences and School of Biological and Marine Sciences, in collaboration with staff at the Roman baths. This is such an interesting find to me because this is a well-preserved Roman bathhouse. I will personally have to look into this some more because I'm just interested in itself, but they're thinking that the antibiotics and the things that they're finding in Solus Minerva can help to fight against antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria that cause illnesses all over the world. On June 19th, 2 individuals were arrested for vandalizing Stonehenge with some sort of orange powdered paint. The individuals are part of a group of climate protesters called Just Stop Oil. According to AP News, the group said it acted in response to the Labour Party's recent election manifesto. Labour has said that if it wins the election on July 4th, it would not issue further licenses for oil and gas exploration. Just Stop Oil backs the moratorium, but said it is not enough. In a statement, the group said Labour, which is leading in polls and wildly expected by pundits and politicians to lead the next government, needs to go further and sign a treaty to phase out fossil fuels by 2030. So 6 years. Quote, continuing to burn coal, oil, and gas will result in the death of millions, the group said in a statement. So I can understand the climate protesters' point of view, but I cannot agree with the way that these protesters from Just Stop Oil are protesting. If I remember correctly, these are the same people, the group, not the individuals, who defaced centuries-old paintings in museums. And they just generally act ridiculous in their protests. There are better ways to get your point across, better ways of protesting than to deface and vandalize sacred sites and to deface and vandalize even the art is considered sacred to people. Pulling stunts like this give climate protesters and eco-conscious people a bad reputation. They got what they wanted. All eyes are on them and their group, but it's not in the way that it should have been. It's for entirely all the wrong reasons. So That was fun. And they vandalized Stonehenge a day before thousands of people were expected to gather for the solstice. The state of Louisiana has come under fire in June for good reason. The state has passed a law that will require a poster of the Ten Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom across the state. From an article on NPR, here is what it entails. This is a direct quote from the NPR article. The legislation that Republican Governor Jeff Landry signed into law on Wednesday requires a poster-sized display of the Ten Commandments in, quote, large, easily readable font in all public classrooms from kindergarten to state-funded universities. Opponents questioned the law's constitutionality and vowed to challenge it in court. Proponents said the measure is not solely religious, but that it has historical significance. In the language of the law, the Ten Commandments are, quote, foundational documents of our state and national government. The posters, which will be paired with a 4-paragraph context statement describing how the Ten Commandments, quote, were a prominent part of American public education for almost 3 centuries, must be placed in classrooms by the start of 2025. Under the law, state funds will not be used to implement the mandate. The posters would be paid through donations. The law also authorizes, but does not require, the display of other items in K-12 public schools, including the Mayflower Compact, which was signed by religious pilgrims aboard the Mayflower in 1620 and is often referred to as America's first constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Northwest Ordinance, which established a government in the Northwest Territory in the present-day Midwest and created a pathway for admitting new states to the Union. So Louisiana is putting the Ten Commandments in classrooms, not paid for by the state, but paid for by donations, because of course it is. That's how they're getting around not using government funds for religion. And they're basing it on historical significance, not religious significance, which I think is a load of crap. So it has been challenged. I'm fairly certain several people have challenged. I think the ACLU has also filed a lawsuit, and we will see what happens with that. Lastly, one of our own in the community, author Mortellis, is facing down an elementary school where their children attend. Mortellis released a statement in June detailing the discrimination and hatred that they and their children have faced by staff at Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy. I'm going to read part of their statement so that I don't get anything wrong, but the statement is fairly long and I do encourage you to read the whole thing. So they said, "Never have I felt so included in a Pride Month as I did discovering that my family, my children, had been subject to a campaign of hate spanning nearly a month. Warring Facebook groups discussed my family's values, wants, and needs at length. It had been in the news, official statements had been made, petitions filed and then pulled for hate speech, protests attended, all because my children would be joining the student body at Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy." A TJCA staff member, joined by no less than 6 other members of staff, and no, I will not dox their information, leaked confidential and identifying information about my family to the general public. Gender identity, sexuality, religious practices, and more laid bare for the world to see, all without our knowing or having been informed at all. And what, you might wonder, was the hubbub? When touring the school some time ago, I pointed out a lack of family bathroom. It was noted to me at the time that they were in place at the middle and high school and likely to be added at the grammar level soon. I noted that my children, regardless of assigned gender, enjoyed wearing skirts and dresses frequently, and I was informed that the uniform policy was non-gendered and that it would not be an issue. I asked if students are sorted by gender, boys line up here, girls there, stating that one of my twins had been rather fluid with pronouns, flitting back and forth as it pleased them, and only recently settling into a preference. More of our tour was centered on whether or not my children might face any discrimination over religious practices. You see, my family is pagan, and as a published author, I'm not the quietest witch in the world, and I don't expect my children to hide in a broom closet either. I was, of course, staunchly assured that they would be shielded from this kind of ugliness. I knew it was, at best, a wish, but it warmed my heart to know that the administration was, in their own words, feeling very protective of them already. But yesterday I found myself simply a parent, hoping to purchase second-hand uniforms and instead finding first-hand hate. And when I found the TJCA Parents for Equality group, it never occurred to me that it might only exist because my family did. An individual stated in that group that, quote, "There is a family out there who is hurting and feeling ostracized." But they were wrong on 2 counts. The first error was in thinking that we knew. You see, all the while that there was hate speech being bandied against myself and a pair of 6-year-old children, we didn't know it all. But the second, more egregious error was in assuming hurt. I am not hurt, I am angry. So again, this is from the author Mortellus, whose most recent book, I believe, is The Bones Fall in a Spiral. I encourage you to read the full statement, and if you can help in any way, even just by sharing the information, that would be wonderful. I know Mortellus has been on social media talking about this. If anything, just let it serve as a reminder to be kind to one another, and that most of the time the issue comes from the parents, not the children. So that's all I have for news for this week. This video is already getting kind of long. I don't have any Q&A for this week because you guys haven't asked me any questions. I don't have an astrology forecast for the week for the month because my brain just isn't there. So we are going to do the monthly reading. I'm going to talk about some new things coming, and then that's going to be it. So let's pull our cards for the month and we'll go from there. Okay, so this month I'm just going to go ahead and use my oracle deck, my Spirits and Shadows oracle deck. And we're going to pull 3 cards. We're going to pull the monthly theme, what to watch out for, and what to keep in mind. All right, so monthly theme is strength. Strength, I hope you can see that okay. So this month we're going to be asked to draw on our strength. What makes us strong? Where do we find our strength? I kind of get the feeling that maybe something is going to be happening where we have to draw on our strength and our courage and our bravery. We need to watch out for an awakening. Interesting. So keep our eyes open, our ears open, our proverbial eyes open, our witch eye, and keep an eye on the things going on around us. This is going to connect to our intuition. So something is going on, but not necessarily in a physical sense. Something is going to happen spiritually. For me personally, maybe this is just a reconnection back to myself and finding strength in my practice through the awakening and through reconnecting with my intuition. And then lastly, we need to keep in mind reincarnation. Everything happens in cycles and spirals. So whatever is going on, whatever we're going to experience this month has happened before, maybe in a different kind of way. I mean, I literally just did a video talking about embracing the spiral of life and how things just move in a spiral. We learn things and then we relearn them in different ways over and over again. So I really feel like that's what this is connected to. So I will show you all of the cards here on the screen, and that is our reading for the month. Draw on your strength this month, connect to your intuition, find that power, and know that everything comes in cycles. And just because something has left, just because something is gone, it doesn't mean that it's gone forever. Okay, so that is our monthly reading. I am thinking about doing a new series on my channel, something like the Wellness Diaries. Since my word of the year is heal, I feel like it fits. It will probably focus around my wellness journey, weight loss, my relationship with food, mental health, going back to school, all different kinds of things like that. I haven't quite decided yet, so nothing is set in stone. but it would most likely be a monthly thing. I do have a couple other videos and video ideas that are kind of planned out. I just have to have the time and the mental energy to get them out there. And I think that's why I'm vlogging this week too, because it's just really easy and I don't really have to do anything besides what I'm already doing. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful month of July. Thank you so much for being here and for being a member of my channel. I know I've been all over the place the last couple of years, but I really appreciate you being here. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.